this is Frode and welcome back to Actualize Notes TV. Today we have another great book, Self-Discipline, Powerful Techniques by Dominic Mann. Self-Discipline, Powerful Techniques. Subtitle, From Billionaires, Navy SEALs, Spartans, Olympic Athletes and Entrepreneurs. Dominic Mann has done a great job in distilling the best ideas within willpower and self-discipline from books like Cal McGonigal's The Willpower Instinct and Roy Baumeister's Willpower, and he therefore looks at the science of self-discipline, not some warm, fuzzy, feel-good motivational words that you can just rub against you to feel good, but the hard subjects that we can use, the hard principles that we can use to actually build our self-discipline. And it's a short book, about 50 pages, so this is something anyone can read in an hour or two. So if you want to develop your self-discipline, I think you'll love the book. And especially if you're a bit short of time during your days. So let's have a look at 5 of my favorite big ideas. And the first one is skill. So one thing we're going to make really clear when we're looking at self-discipline is that it's a skill. David Wolf also talks about this in his book, Self-Discipline, Become a Greek Spartan. And he says that self-discipline is a learned behavior, not an innate trait. And this is all mindset we're talking about here. Do you believe your skills can be developed? Do you believe that you can develop your qualities and your abilities? Or do you believe they're fixed? It's what Carol Dweck talks about in her book Mindset. And I often bring up this subject of the growth and fixed mindset, and it's because it's so important. Because whether you believe that you can develop your qualities or not, will basically predict whether you will put in the effort of developing your qualities, or if you won't. So, gotta get that one installed first. Do you believe that you can develop your self-discipline, no matter where you are at right now, in terms of how you're eating, how you're moving, how you're sleeping, how you are at work, how you are in relationships? Do you believe that you can develop your self-discipline in those areas? My tip is that, yes, it's good to believe that. Second big idea, purpose. So this is really the number one, after knowing that it's a skill, of course, number one thing we need to get clear if we want to have self-discipline. You gotta have a purpose. He calls it, Dominic calls it a mission. And with regards to a mission, he gives a pretty good example. You know Elon Musk? He talks about Elon Musk and his mission, and before he tells us the mission of Elon Musk, he says that if you don't know what his mission is, you must probably have been living in a cage somewhere. A cave somewhere. And in fact, I hadn't heard about his mission. And thank you for that one, I thought. And then when he told me, I was amazed. Do you know what Elon Musk's mission is? It's to colonize Mars. It's going to colonize Mars. Not like in the way of sending one person to Mars, planting a flag there and going back to Earth. But he's going to build a civilization on Mars, a city where 1 million people can live, such that if our Earth is extinguished from nuclear war or disease or something else, he can basically save humanity. That's some mission, right? And do you believe that Elon Musk has a hard time dragging himself out of bed every morning when his mission is to save humanity? No, me neither. So, begs the question, what is your mission that you are all fired up about? 1, 5, 10, 20, 50 years from now? What's your mission for your entire lifetime? Why are you on this planet? Me? It's a lot inspired by Brian Johnson at Optimize.me, the man who inspired me to do this work. And it's to create the greatest collection of wisdom ever. Since I love the practical wisdom we all can apply to our lives, I'm going to live this stuff and also share it with you. And I'm also going to create a community of 1 million actualizers. People who are committed to embodying these ideas and living them, creating positive ripples throughout the planet and throughout eternity. Alright, so what's your purpose? Get clear on that and remind yourself of it every single morning. Then connect it to what you can do today to live that purpose. And it will be easier to have self-discipline. And a related idea is habits. Dominic references, of course, a lot of different authors in his book, and he references Albert E. and Gray's book, The Common Denominator of Success. And the common denominator of success, Albert tells us, is that successful people develop the habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. So, that's really good to know, because if failures wouldn't install the habits that you might be installing right now or choose to install, then you know that you're on a good track. And he also shares some cool research from Charles Duhigg's The Power of Habit, where he says that if you develop habit in one area of your life, it will basically infect every other area of your life. So if you start exercising, here is your life. You may also start eating healthier. You might care more about your family. You might do better at work. And all these things become connected just because you started that one habit of exercising more. Since you have more energy, you feel better, you have more mental clarity. And that basically brings us to our next big idea. So just remember that the common denominator of success is that successful people develop a habit of doing the things that failures don't like to do. Want to be a person like that? It's basically self-discipline. So the next big idea, related to habits. We gotta have focus. Focus on one habit at a time, or one area of your life that we want to master. And he tells a great story to illustrate this example. Let's talk about Spartans. We all love the Spartans, right? The ancient warriors who basically ruled and crushed everyone back in the days. So he references the movie 300. You've seen it, right? Where the Spartans are battling the Persians at the Battle of Thermopylae. And when in a particular scene, the Spartans meet the free Greeks who are going to support them in battle. And then the leader of the free Greeks is a bit perplexed that he thought that Sparta's commitment would at least match their own commitment to fighting off the Persians and saving their civilization. And then King Leonidas, the king of the Spartans, says, what is your profession? Points at one of the free Greeks. And he says, well, I'm a potter, sir. Then he points at another and asks, what about you, Arcadian? What is your profession? And he says, I'm a sculptor. And next, he points at another one, blacksmith. And then he looks back at the Spartans and asks, Spartans, what is your profession? And of course, and they're all warriors. Pure warriors, not anything else. They don't dissipate their energies. And of course the Spartans were insanely self-disciplined. But what's more important to look at is that they were disciplined in one area, especially. They focused all of their energies on becoming as good warriors as possible. Not sculptors, potters, and blacksmiths, and painters. All of them. They focused on the one thing they could be extraordinary at. Which begs the question, what is the one thing that you are here to do? The one thing you need to focus all of your energies on? Daniel Pink, author of Drive, a book about motivation, tells us that we need to focus on our one sentence. What is your life's sentence all about? Lincoln had his. He served the Union and freed the slaves, or something like that. Elon Musk's sentence might be, he saved humanity and colonized Mars. Mine is going to be, he created the greatest collection of wisdom ever and a community of actualizers, or something in that sense. So what's yours? It makes us have to focus. And then figure out what is the one habit that you need to install and do daily in order to create that one sentence. Talking about some really powerful stuff here. And my habit is that every single day I aim at having at least 3 90-minute time blocks of deep, focused work. No distractions. I only read, or I write, or I teach. And I also mind map in my head to kind of compare these ideas and remember them better. So what's your habit? Last big idea. Dominic talks about Bud S training that the Navy SEALs have to go through. And I think it means basic underwater demolition Navy SEALs training or something like that. And it's really excruciatingly hard. It's you can compare it to what people do in Hell Week. And some psychologists wanted to figure out what specific traits the ones who actually succeeded, the 20% out of the 100% who succeeded in going through this training, did differently than those who didn't succeed. And they found 4 Navy SEAL mental training techniques that we're going to talk about now. So, first, goals. They don't think about their goal of going through the whole training, thinking about the iceberg of weeks and months of pain. They only think about the next step and how painful it is right now. They can always ask themselves the question, am I dead? No. Do I have all my limbs intact? Yes. Then of course I can continue. Bite-sized goals. What's the one thing you can do right now? What's right in front of you that you can work on to make your goals a natural byproduct of what you're doing? Next, visualization. Visualization. I think I spelled that right. So in order to not be so anxious and stressed when they come into the situations that are really tough, for example, when you're giving a public speech, when you're doing your work, or when you're on a competition in training, they visualize. They visualize doing the performance before they go to perform. And they don't only visualize their goals, because that doesn't make them more calm during the competition. But they visualize what they're doing in order to reach the goals. So, how can you incorporate this into your life? I like doing this in the beginning of the day. I just visualize the day I have in front of me, so I kind of know what I'm going to do. P. That one was positive self-talk. Positive self-talk. Number 3, mental training technique for the SEALs. When they go through challenges, they have positive self-talk. They reframe challenges and pain as growth. I feel pain, therefore I'm becoming stronger. This is challenging, I'm afraid, therefore I'm becoming stronger. And mantra I like to use that I got from Brian Johnson is ohms. Ohms. Obstacles make me stronger. Because science has proven that they literally do. When something is hard, you get stronger. When your weights are heavy, you get stronger. And therefore, obstacles make me stronger is something I literally repeat to myself tens and maybe hundreds of times each day. And next is breathe. They talk about something, arousal control. When you're in a stressful situation, we basically have our fight or flight response triggered, just like the cavemen had on the savannah 10,000 years ago when they met a saber-toothed tiger. So to control that arousal, we need to breathe. And they have this technique called 4x4. When you're in a situation which stresses you out, when you're maybe feeling afraid or whatever, then breathe in for 4 seconds, then out for 4 seconds. Let's do one of those right now. In for 4, out for 4. One more. In for 4, out for 4. Feel a bit more grounded, hey? I do. And I like using 6, 2, 7. Another technique that you breathe in for 6, hold for 2, and out for 7. Let's do one of those right now. In for 6. Hold for 2. And out for 7. Alright. Feel a bit more calm right now? I can actually feel that I do. So those are the 4 mental training techniques that the Navy SEALs use to get through their excruciating training. How can you use it? Bite-sized goal, visualization beforehand, positive self-talk during challenges, and breathe to calm yourself down. Focus. What's the one thing you're going to focus on mastering in your life? And what can you do each day to do that? Habits. What's the one habit related to your focus maybe, or another area that you can focus on in order to infect every area of your life with self-discipline? Purpose. What is your purpose? Elon Musk's is colonizing Mars. Mine is creating the greatest collection of wisdom ever and an actualized community. Skill. Self-discipline is a skill. Period. You can develop it, just like me. And by the way, I have some examples there that I forgot to tell you about. 3 years ago, I would, when the alarm clock sounded in the morning, I would really feel the resistance towards getting up. I really hadn't any goals or anything like that, and I just squeezed the snooze button, and I could lay for an hour or something before I got up. Now I get up immediately, every single time without fail. When the alarm clock sounds, I just get up. And reading. 3 years ago, I didn't read 1 page by choice. I never read anything. But now, I read every single day. Because I installed the habit of doing it every single day and got better and better, it got more and more comfortable. I loved it so much, in fact, that I decided to make it my profession. So now I can read up to 6 or 7.5 hours in a day, and I love it. And of course, I used to dread making these videos, but now I'm actually looking a lot forward to it every single time, because I have the opportunity to serve you with the ideas that you can apply to your life to actualize. So, those are our 5 big ideas for today, and a quick look at Self-Discipline, Powerful Techniques by Dominic Mann. Thank you, Dominic. For now, what is the one idea that jumped out at you, and how can you more consistently apply it to your life starting today? What's the first step? Alright, thank you very much for watching. Looking forward to share more wisdom with you soon. Keep actualizing so we can change the world together.